In this video, I'm going to go through explaining how the answers to the example and the Lagrange Interpolation Formula is calculated. Now, our example reads: suppose that x0 equals to 1, x1 equals to 2, x2 equals 3, x3 equals 4, x4 equals 6, and f of x equal e to the x. Determine the interpolating polynomial denoted by P1 to 4 of x and use this polynomial to approximate f of 5. Now, your side note here is the interpolation formula, and all of this here are your given information from the above. Note that x1, x2, and x4 are given, but f of x1, f of x2, and f of x4 are calculated from the given function. So to get each of these, you simply get the x value, substitute into x here in the function to get e to the power 2, e to the power 3, and e to the power 6. Now, let's go into using the Lagrange Interpolating Formula. The first step is to calculate our polynomial. Our polynomial denoted by P of 1, 2, 3, 4 of x equals, we go f of x1, this is like this one here will stand for f of x1. That's our first term in the polynomial. Then our 2 here will indicate that we're going to do f of x2. 4 here will indicate we do f of x4. And then we multiply by Lagrange expressions. Now, Lagrange expressions are such that in the numerator you go, because we are using x1, we go x minus x2 and x minus x4. And then in our denominator we get x1 and minus x2 and x1 minus x4 from the above. So that's the same thing that you do for each of these. In the second polynomial expression term, we are going x2, f of x2, which means in our numerator we are going to be using x minus x1 and x minus x4. In our denominator we get x2 minus x1 and x2 minus x4 above. Same with this. Since we have f of x4, above there we only get x minus x1 and x minus x2 from these three. And then in the one below we go x4 minus x1 and x4 minus x2. Now after writing out the expression, we now substitute all the values here into to get our second step. So f of x1 we substitute e2, x2 substitute with 3, x4 substitute with 6, and x1 we substitute with 2. Likewise here, f of x2 we substitute with e to the 3, x1 we substitute with 2, x4 substitute with 6, and x2 we substitute with 3. Same as here. F of x4 is e to the 6, x1 is 2, x2 is 3, and x4 is 6. And now we simplify the denominator. So simplifying the denominator will give us -1 multiply -4. Over here we have 1 multiply -3. Over here we have 4 multiply 3. Now when we multiply these two, we put it as a denominator of the guy in front. These two multiplied, denominator of this. These two multiplied, denominator of this. Such that we will get e squared over 4. That's the product of these two. E cubed over -3. And e to the 6 over 12. All of this will be written on that side. Then that's our polynomial. First step, we have done our polynomial. Second step, we now find the approximate value of 5. Simply, we get 5 and substitute in each of the x and then evaluate.